One of the only activities that activates, stimulates, and uses the entire brain is music. Research suggests that playing the piano will make you a smarter because musical training optimizes brain function and contributes to academic success. The first thing I would like to expound on is how music makes you smarter and can raise your IQ. I will then emphasize why music is important to this generation and the future generation. Lastly, I will discuss implementing a music program in your school. To start, let's look at how music can make you smarter and raise your IQ. A study done by Glenn E. Schellenberg at the University of Toronto at Mississauga, as published in a 2004 issue of Psychological Science, found a small increase in the IQs of 6-year-olds who were given weekly voice and piano lessons. In this study, children were put into 4 different groups: piano lessons, voice lessons, drama lessons, and no classes. The children were given an IQ test before and after their 36 weeks of classes. All the children showed an increase of IQ because they were older and they were going to school. But the key findings were the children taking the piano lessons and the voice lessons had a slightly larger increase in overall IQ compared to the drama classes and those who had no classes. You can see here in this example how music can raise your IQ. One might ask, how does music actually help raise your IQ or make us smarter? Let's take a look at your brain. When we have early musical training, it can strengthen the connections between the brain neurons and maybe even make new pathways. Duane Shin, who is the founder of Piano University in Southern Oregon and worked as an assistant music therapist at DeWitt State Hospital in California, writes about a study done where the planum temporale was bigger in musicians. In this study, they compared 27 classically trained right-handed male piano players to 27 right-handed male non-musicians. They found that the planum temporale, which is a brain structure associated with the auditory, was bigger in the left hemisphere and smaller in the right than in the non-musicians. Another example of how music can make us smarter is found from the same article by Duane Shin. In that article, he talks about a study done by Dartmouth music psychologist Peter Wanata that was published in Science in 2002. Wanata led a group of scientists who reported some areas of the brain to be 5% larger in musicians as opposed to the non-musicians. They have also found greater connectivity between the brain's left and right hemisphere in the areas responsible for emotion and memory. And in this study, Wanata also found that among musicians who began their musical studies early in childhood, found that the corpus callosum, which is a 4-inch bundle of nerve fibers connecting the left and right hemispheres of the brain, could be up to 15% larger. So in addition to having musical lessons such as the piano, and if you're to combine it with a broad range of athletics, it can bulk up the gray matter of both hemispheres of our cerebellum and improve your motor skills. Now that we have talked about how music can make you smarter, raise your IQ, and talk about your brain, let's move on to our second point. Let's learn about why music is so important for our generation and our future generation. Music is important for our generation and the future generation so that they are more prepared for school. Some of the brain changes occur with extensive musical training are reflected in improved automation of tasks, such as remembering multiplication table or improved motor skills or even listening skills. In an article by Laura Lewis Brown found on the PBS Parent website, she quotes Mary Luerhism, Executive Director of the National Association of Music Merchants. Mary states, "A music-rich experience for children of singing, listening, and moving is really bringing a very serious benefit to children as they progress into more formal learning." In this same article, Laura Lewis Brown quotes Pruitt, who helped found the Performing Arts Medicine Association. It states, "Music instruction does reliably improve spatial temporal skills in children over time." It goes on further to say that these skills come into play in solving multi-step problems one would encounter in architecture, engineering, math, art, gaming, and especially working with computers. Music is important so that children can have better skills. And with these skills, they in turn can be better engineers and architects. Another reason why music is important for our generation is music accelerates brain development. A study by University of Southern California published in 2016 titled "The Benefits of Music and Music Education on Children's Brains" states that when children learn to play musical instruments, it accelerates the brain development in that child, especially in the areas that are responsible for processing sound, language development, and speech. In this study, neuroscientists found that the children who received music instruction had fine-tuned auditory systems and could accelerate language development along with reading. A study from the Boston Children's Hospital found from an article titled "The Benefits of Music and Music Education on Children's Brains" suggests that learning an instrument also develops our brain's executive functions, which are located in the frontal lobe. This allows the child to manage time, attention, organize thoughts, and regulate behavior. These skills are important in school success and later in life as adult. Music is beneficial to children. You have learned that it can help with language development, auditory systems, reading, math. Music can help with multi-step problems such as architecture and engineering. Now that we have talked about how music makes us smarter and why music is important for our future generation, let's move on to our final point. Music should be implemented in every school. Every school needs to have a music program so that children are provided with the best education they can possibly receive. Right now, they are provided with teachers that will help them with their academics. This is good, but don't you want it to be better? Music can be fun, and it's like extra tutoring. We don't want to deprive our children of our future tremendous cognitive benefits by not having a music program. Alex Kalaventros states in an article from March 2015 titled "The Importance of Music Education," and I quote, "For years, music classes have been the ugly ducklings of school curriculums, the last courses to be added, the first courses to be cut. They've always taken second place to the traditional academic classes. Music, however, has proved itself to be extremely beneficial time and time again, from the undeniable improvement in grades regarding traditional academic classes to the glowing remarks from music students everywhere. In an ever-changing world, the addition of music education in schools needs to be on the next academic agenda. Music education should be a required component in all schools due to the proven fact, academic, social, and personal benefits that it provides. As you have seen, research suggests that playing the piano will make you smarter because musical training optimizes brain function and contributes to academic success. In my first point, we talked about how music can make you smarter and raise your IQ. We then emphasized why music is so important to our generation and the future generation. Lastly, we discussed that music should be implemented in our schools. We have the opportunity to make our future generation the best it can be through a music program at the schools. Let's get our future generation activated, stimulated, and using the entire brain to optimize our future through music.